Hello, everyone. I'm here with my friend Paul Goodman of Dentist Job Connect. It seems like every day we're recording one of these, Paul.
Lucky me, Bob.
People are going to get sick of seeing our faces here. I'm
My
sure.
grandmother would have said that's impossible, Bob. So I listened to my grandmother, Baba. It's not alive member. She said, "You're very special. No one can get bored of you, and you will make it in the NBA." So
Exactly. So let me explain what this is. Um, I have finally been convinced that I need an insurance policy to run my practice. In other words, if something happens to me, I don't want to close the doors. I don't want to lay off my employees. I want to be able to say, hey, I want to take 2 days off or 2 weeks off and still have a practice going. That does not happen without having a dentist helping me at least a couple of days a week. And as we discussed last time, this is like an insurance policy, meaning that it's okay for me to lose money a little bit paying somebody else for me to have a peace of mind. That's insurance, right, Paul? That's what we pay insurance for.
Yeah. Also, you're investing in your own happiness. I mean, I think it's fair to point out, Bob, you've done an amazing job building dentistry in general. I've been proud to help you. You've helped me. I have now two different companies, and there's no special team member you need to turn on a Facebook group or approve a post. But in a dental office, you can have 8 team members all ready to help patients. And if you do not have the dentist, nobody can work, nobody could be helped, nobody can make money, nobody can process patients. So the vulnerability of the dentist is quite high in our profession. And I don't think it's something people pay enough attention to until, sadly, sometimes it's too late.
Yeah, and I have to tell you, you used a different word as well that I love to keep thinking about, that to make sure I'm motivated to keep doing this, and that's the word investment.
Right.
At some point we want to sell our practice. You have a choice of selling to corporate entities. I don't care which way you pick, but having someone in your office that your patients are used to seeing, and then they transition into being the owner at some point, is priceless, in my opinion, for the continuation of taking care of your community, rather than different dentists coming from different places to take over.
I agree with you. Also, there's just so many cool opportunities there. You can hire an associate 2 days a week and sell your practice, and that associate may stay and work for the new owner. They may not want to be an owner, but what you've done is you've insulated your practice from a lot of times disaster, because you have someone who can be there when you're on vacation, when you want to be away, or maybe, I was saying this today, Bob, dentistry is a physical sport. You see dentists getting injured. Sometimes it's stuff inside their operatory. Sometimes it's because they do crazy Spartan races on the side. But, some of these things don't have to be as dramatic as a death or a long-term illness. They could just be, we bought a practice from someone who had a shoulder injury, and he could not do dentistry for 12 weeks. And he actually came in his sling when we bought his practice, and he would check hygiene, but he could not drill on teeth. And if we did not come to his rescue, he would have pretty much lost at least 50% of his practice value. And in selling to us, he got 100%. So I think, you're right. You're investing in your sanity, your success, less stress, and your own happiness.
Yes, absolutely. We have 2 of your team members here, Dua and Eric, and they're going to jump in and help us navigate the website. I want to do this as like a demo, like we do demo for software. I want to do a demo of how I listed my ad on Dentist Job Connect to be able to see it. So let me just share and you guys can jump in at any time. Tell me to click here and click there. But let's do.
Eric and Dua, I want to prove that I can help too. So you guys can just say words from behind the scene as I see me. Good job, Bob. We're on the account. Step 1. Great job.
Okay, great. So we are on my account page. You guys can see it, right?
Yep, we can see it. Looks great.
Okay, so what I'd like to show first, which is kind of like, for lack of a better word, it's like a dating app, right?
I call it like a babysitter, a care.com app, because I like what you said, but people usually don't have 8 boyfriends or girlfriends at the same time. But it is totally cool to have multiple associates helping you in different capacities. So I love the comparison I've used the dating more for the purchase of the practice because it's kind of a one-time relationship. But much like, I don't want to bring this up at this time, much like some football team didn't have enough people on their bench to complete the game. Sorry,
They had
Bob.
to go there. They had to go there, huh?
You can develop your bench. You know, it's like, I think in a fun way, it's like draft picks in the best way for dentistry.
Okay. So we go over here as a practice owner. So I'm gonna basically explore this for the first time, actually, with my members. As a practice owner, we go for a resume search, and when you click on it, look at this, Paul. 826 general dentists are looking for a job around the country. Is that what it is?
Yeah, I mean, we're building this daily, and this is the one time, Bob, that dentists of all ages and stages, they want to be kindly annoyed. Somebody, if you click on orthodontics there, it's under more if you see it. There's not as many orthodontists, but if you click on, go to more and then hit orthodontics, and the first person right there, Oni Franco, runs a great podcast. He knows Jim and Tyler. I hung out with him. He goes, somebody reached out to me from Dentist Job Connect. I was so impressed and wanted to know if I wanted to be hired. It wasn't the right state for me, but I really appreciate, Paul, that you've created this service. I mean, what we've created, Bob, right now at the time of this recording, the job seekers pay $0 to be part of this. They get to list their resume for free. So we'll talk in a minute how your position will be advertised. And you and your team, Bob, can go in there and message. And if you go to the GPs, you can filter it by location. But I want to tell you why dentists sometimes can be overly detail oriented. So I do want to share with you, we just connected a dentist from PA to Missouri, okay, for Dr. Arash's position. So if you search only Missouri dentist, you're going to limit yourself because there may be someone, Bob, who right now is in Florida that would like to move to Chicago. So while you can refine your search up there by location, I encourage you to just go through resumes, click and connect with dentists that might be a good fit for you.
Yeah, and you can put keywords here. For example, if you put a keyword as in, let's say, implant.
I want to see what happens with that.
Yeah, I want to see how that works. So if you do implants, you get 314 resumes that have implant in their resume.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm really proud of this. I mean, it's functional, it's fun, it's simple, and one of our I'll keep his job HIPAA confidentiality protected, but he messaged 70 people and got 7 responses, and then was connecting with them for jobs. And this is the power of Dentist Job Connect from the resumes. We haven't even gotten to how we advertise, but this is just totally baked into every package. If you want to show the packages under employer products and what people can pick, whether you pick 6,
we'll go there too. But this is almost really cool. It's almost like addictive to look for associates. Implant in California, or you can or you can do endo, probably California. Let's see how many comes up. 20 resumes. So this is a really cool tool, and I've told you this in private as well, that I think it's one of the great ideas you had. So what I want to do, I want to put up an ad for myself.
Gotcha,
so
right.
I go to my account, right here, and I have purchased this for 6 months.
Yes, you have a 6-month Job Connect package, which comes with promotion for 6 months and the resume search. So I believe you go under job postings.
But I can also put my job posting here, which I don't have yet. That's why I don't have any.
We're doing it right now. Yeah, we're creating your posting right now. It's like a chef's.
So okay, so let's try this. Job title, general dentist, right?
Yeah, I mean, these are ones where this is very interesting, Bob. Dentists claim they like to be creative, and I say, see you got scanners, you got mills. We just had things from Artie Volker on tinting. This is word creation, so you can make it as simple as general dentist in the Chicago area to
how about awesome general dentist?
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, and you can, just so everyone knows, I want to share, this is important because actually I should not be, listen, you've scanned things and milled things a million times. If I go to your office, Bob, and I say, I haven't, you need to walk me through it. So I want to share that you can edit this at any time. So sometimes people will post a thing and say, what do you think I should put in? I said, you should put in less words about the Krebs cycle, more words about how you're going to pay people. So this is just a fun way to add. Yeah, awesome dentist in the Chicago metro area. Perfect.
And So let them we say location on site, range of salary. This is I don't know. What do you
What
part-time?
I'll give you my
Should I put
my
that part-time here as well?
I mean, there might be another tab for that along the way, but there's no harm in typing it in.
Okay.
When you get to salary, I can give you some feedback on you're doing GP
There we go.
part-time. You know, I'm a big fan of the income guarantee. I have no requirement. Sometimes people, there's no requirement. It's just an encouragement to create a income guarantee.
Okay, that's great. So I set those up and salary range.
I believe, Bob, what you should do, this is me, and if I've used my own creation, but when I started this, we didn't have the tools that we have today. So it was more typing in. I think the equivalent of what it would be for the year, and then you
I
would
see.
just talk about how it's part-time. So if it's going to be something like $600 a day, that
Uh-huh.
translates into $120,000 a year. So people could put between 110 and 150 from 120. If this, you're a great leader, Bob. When people put 150 to 300, it's too big a range. I encourage people to stay within $50,000 for their range.
Paul, I'm a big fan of hiring experts to help you and then listening to their advice.
Yeah,
So
thanks.
I would be foolish if I don't listen to your advice while you're helping me with this. So I'm going to put down 110 to 150, right?
Yep, perfect.
Daily guarantee, yes. Position, job title. Well, procedures will be
So I'll give you some of advice here. So I talk about 5 questions that every practice owner should be able to answer. I'm applying. Hi, Dr. Bob D. Where is the job? Chicago area. Why are you looking for an associate? You can put that in. I'm just going to give you all 5. How will I be compensated? What procedures where I will do most, right? So what I share with owners is say, I'll use my own job. Hi, Dr. A. Most of the time here, you will be doing restorative dentistry, fundamental, like fillings, crowns, restoring implants, and night guards. Some of the time, you will be doing hygiene up to 25%. And there's an opportunity to learn specialized procedures like clear aligners, because she does clear aligners. But I clearly say most of the time, this job is about fillings, crowns, night guards, and implant crowns. So you're welcome to type yours.
most of the time. Bread and butter dentistry.
You can't kale and
You like
quinoa,
that?
but yes, but no one eats bread and butter anymore. But kale and
I
quinoa,
know, but bread,
yes,
but
I
everybody
totally
knows
get
what
it.
that means.
Yes, yeah,
So we put it in quotation marks so they don't come and asking me for bread and butter.
yeah.
So basically restorative.
And I would put in parentheses, you could put single crowns, direct restorations, and you don't have to be a job like this is also a time just for people listening. If you want an associate that really needs to do anterior and premolar endo, put it in there because if that's important to you. And I just tell people be as descriptive as possible. And while you're typing this, Bob, you're doing a great job. Someone reached out to me and said, Paul, you were right. I said, okay, tell me more. Tell me more. I don't care. Tell me more. And he said, I made an associate contract that I would sign. So all these owners, Bob, say, what should I do? I said, make an associate contract that you would be happy signing yourself. And this dentist did it, Dr. TK, and it worked out well. So make a job description that you would like to have for your own practice,
Right. Most of the time, bread and butter dentistry, restorative, single crowns, restoration of simple implants, simple endodontics, removable.
Yeah.
Removable prosthodontics, etc. And then we're also going to put down up to, as you suggested, right? 25% hygiene if needed.
Yeah, if or as needed. If you could give me a minute to explain this for once for all. So I don't understand this, Bob. asking associates about hygiene seems to be the most controversial topic in Facebook land, and it blows my mind. I did a 3-year GPR where I placed and restored 150 implants. And my first day was a Saturday working for my dad and his partner doing 5 hygiene appointments. I found it to be an easy way to meet patients. Nothing really goes wrong. You know, it's not like contacts around a class 2. And I was able to earn income in a private practice. Now, I would not have accepted a job with my dad and his partner if they had me do 100% hygiene, but both of them had started out doing some, and I found it to be a really amazing way to have wins in my schedule. And I don't see why it's so bad financially, Bob. A class 2 composite for a PPO. Eric, I'm going to put this. What's one of your PPO class 2 composites that's like not such a good reimbursement? Like what's it pay? $167?
How much?
167?
Probably 150.
150, right? So you could do a class 2. We got to drill, make a box, all this stuff. Or sometimes you can do a hygiene visit for the same amount, and you're making your same 33% of collection. So why? I mean, maybe you can share, Bob. Of all the things I do, it blows my mind that it's so controversial, this topic.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to sell that idea to me. I did hygiene through the first year. I've actually I was working as a dentist, and the other days that I wasn't working, I enrolled in a temping agency, and I worked in different offices, and I've learned so much in that period. But you know, I'm not even going to criticize people who don't want to do hygiene. As long as it's written up there, you can choose to not take this job. I believe in transparency. So if I am going to supplement your hours with hygiene, if you have an issue with that, this job is not for you.
I like it.
As long as I have an income guarantee, who cares, right?
Yes.
You're going to get that income guarantee anyways. And this way you can meet the new patient, you can diagnose it and do the work yourself. I think it's a great win-win. But if someone doesn't believe in it, God bless you. You know, there are other jobs available. This is my philosophy. This is how I did it to build this past 30 years. And I believe young dentists should do it too. If they don't want it, that's okay too.
Good way to put it, Bob. I like it.
So what are some features of your dental practice? We're going to put down technology driven.
Yeah, technology driven. I have a passion for helping dentists learn things like scanning and milling and the awesomeness of one visit crowns, right? Because you do that.
I have a passion to pass along my knowledge.
Yeah, I mean, I want to point this
30
out.
years.
This is an amazing opportunity. People go and pay to learn this stuff, and they're going to be side by side with you. I was just speaking today, Bob, earlier, and I've worked in a lot of restaurants, and I'm sure chefs will tell you there's a lot of challenges. But one thing I find about chefs that were great is you never show up the first day as a chef and say, I just want to take over the busiest Saturday night dinner. You are required to observe the bigger, stronger chefs, and you learn. So if you have some downtime in your schedule and you can learn about scanning and milling with Dr. Bob D, I think that's just awesome.
Absolutely. We have CAD CAM. CBCT.
You're milling and say, you know the words better than me. You have a mill and
cloud software, etc. Come and learn. Come and learn what you wanted to learn in dental school, right?
Yeah, exactly. Right. It's
I got to advertise myself, right?
Yeah.
This is basically,
market your awesomeness. That's what I tell people. I mean, in my practice, Bob, people might be watching this. Maybe we'll hit a home run, and it's like in my practice, people get to learn fundamental restorative dentistry and hang around with specialists in the practice, learn treatment planning, and work with 2 brothers that run multiple practices. So their thing is they get to learn a lot of behind the scenes business, but they do not get to do all-on-4 implants in our practice. So you want to share what your job is and what it's not. And I just think for everybody watching, practice owners and associates to be, it's so clear to have your own goals clear in your mind. So as you said, Bob D, this is something I want to move forward with or not.
Yeah, and I like you know, I'm just coming up with this stuff from top of my head. I'm gonna come back in here and edit
Yeah, you
this.
can add it,
But
sure.
so we're gonna go and preview this. Oh, that looks nice.
Yeah, it immediately
Time.
comes into, yeah. I mean, I think our site, I'm proud of it. You know, this job board, it's friendly, it's functional, it's easy to read. And
Right.
we're ready to
Email me this job, and as you said,
that,
so
yeah,
we're gonna post it.
post it. I like it.
And basically the associates are joining your website for free. So
Socials for
anybody's
free. And
looking for a
now,
job, they're there.
and now this obviously just went live like a 2 seconds ago, but over the next week, you'll be able to check your account and see who's applied. You can move them along and say, want to bring them in for an interview, disqualified, potential candidate. Like some people are using this in a fabulous way, Bob. I mean, we have a job in Dallas that has 40 applicants. And that owner, you know, I've seen her use it well. She leaves people in the yet to be interviewed, disqualified for whatever reason, potential candidates. I mean, that's what we're striving to do.
So this is what you're talking about. It would be around
Yeah,
here.
this is what you'll be able to do. And you'll be able to look at you'll be able to look at how many people viewed your job, how many applications you have, the ability to reach out to them. And, you know, if I were you and you had time this weekend, I would go. Now, while I want to be careful saying this, anyone from around the country could apply to your job.
Right.
But people are home state-ease. So I would pick states around Illinois and message some people and just say, hey, I have a new job. Would love to connect with you. Love to talk to you. And this is the magic of Job Connect, Bob. You talk to a dentist who goes, oh, hey, Dr. Bob D, I'm in a pediatric residency, but my friend is looking for a part-time job. I'm somebody who's working for this DSO and I work 5 days a week. I don't have the time, but my dental school classmate cries inside every day at their job because they don't have an income guarantee. So, I mean, we're also, you know what I think is fun, Bob, about this? You sit on your phone every day anyway. Not you, everybody does. Spend 22 minutes, like Gary Vee would say, spend 22 minutes a day messaging some people. I mean, message these awesome people. You get to meet them. I mean, these are our people. They're our dental friends. I mean, you know.
Right. That's great.
So
this, and then you wanted me to show,
go to employer products under practice owners. I'll just to share. So people at Dentistry in General get a discount through you. We now have a 60-day, 90-day, and 180-day option in 1 year. So we do have a fourth option on here. People, you get some extra layered value with the longer options. I want to share that hiring any position in your dental office can be a 90-day cycle. So give yourself the time to get it out there. I also want to share, do you know how many times we say to people, oh, hey, Dr. Bob, do you want your ad up? They go, I got somebody, you can take it down. I say, you sure? And they go, it didn't work out, because sometimes when they review the contract, there's a conflict that doesn't make a move forward. So in the 6 months, you get some extra toppings there. Use a natural term.
Right. Just in case it doesn't work out. This is also a resume search. If someone just wants the resume search, they can.
Yeah, they can just use that. I mean, the reason why people would choose just the resume search are two reasons, and I'm a transparent guy. One is frugality; they just want the lowest priced option, and two is if they have an associate and they just want to see what's out there, and they might not be ready to share that they're putting their job face forward. Or, I mean, owners, I mean, me and Jeff and I have looked for other practices to buy, and we've never told our associates, not because we were hiding it, because it never went through. But let's say we were about to buy a third practice, I might just use the resume search feature and say, oh, hey, we're going to expand. So expansion. So we really try to make a topping for everybody. And also for context, Bob, I used to be recruiter. For $150,000 a year position, I would get paid $10,000 to find that position. People get paid up to 30, and that's normal, by the way. I mean, 20% of a first-year salary for a six-figure position for a recruiter is normal pay. So we've tried to make it affordable for all here.
Yeah, I'm gonna rephrase that for you, because you've dealt with corporate entities. A lot of us dentists don't know what that means. What Paul is talking about is that if a company like, let's say, Oracle is looking for a position to fill, they spend $30,000-$40,000 for a job that pays $200,000. Am I correct, Paul?
Easily.
Yeah. And now we're talking about spending literally less than $5,000 with these options to find a position that could potentially make $250,000.
I totally, and I was talking with a large group, and in my early days, I'll never forget holding my 1-year-old who's now 4, and a DSO called me up, a small one, and said, Paul, we need someone ASAP. I don't know if the dentist was injured, was fired, and I found them someone within 24 hours, and they like were throwing the $10,000 check at me, right? Because they said, thanks, Paul. I want to share with everybody that investing in recruiting the most important person in your office is worth it, and Job Connect has given people the opportunity. You can't search jobs from that account, Bob.
Right.
You can create a job seeker profile. There's no rule you can't, but there's 2 types of accounts. So you have a practice owner account, so you can't see the other jobs you could create.
I realize. I mean, it's not a secret. It's just to keep things separate. It's fine. It also, it would be nice to see what your competitors around the country are putting in their ads to attract.
And you can. We did this, and I'm pretty transparent. We did this because we want the job seekers to at least create a profile so we can communicate with them. So when we didn't have, you had to create a profile to see the jobs, we weren't able to say, oh, here's a new job. So you can go and create a job seeker profile to scroll through the other listings. There's no rules against that. It's just the two accounts are separate on this board.
Yeah. I'm definitely going to do that, Paul. Sorry, because I want to see the DSO 3 miles away. What are they offering? Yeah. Am I competitive? I actually suggested to private private ownership dentists that look and see what the competition is offering. You can't complain, oh, we can't find a dentist, when you're not really offering what's out there.
I mean, that's why, when we were preparing for this Texas DSO has a $250,000 position on here, because I just want to share value with your audience and mine. These DSO positions are oftentimes replacing a seasoned dentist. So they have the ability to consume more dentistry. So if you are a private practice, distinguish yourself, if your job isn't paying that, with other things that the dentist might want to learn, like mentorship, technology training. And also, this is really key, Bob, and I meant to say this, what you should showcase is, if you work with me, you're not going to be the only dentist in the office all the time. I will be with you. Many of these corporate offices with their rapid growth plans, Bob, these dentists are by themselves. And it's really hard to be by yourself making the decisions. It's not a criticism of the corporate ones. It's just a reality. If they expand to 5 locations, they need 5 dentists. And sometimes they say, hey, GPR grad with 1 year experience, you're going to be the lead dentist in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And it sounds good on the interview, but then sometimes when you're there, it could be lonely to be by yourself.
Yes. And how much did this guy pay to be the first name on the list?
It's good. He's lucky right now. We're still working on our job board. We'll probably figure out a way to create some type of paid product for seekers. My awesome team would know. This might be a bit random. It might be when more people join, maybe he'll go down. But yeah, Michael Reynolds might be getting the most attention there.
Exactly. Every time I click, he comes up. Paul, I can't, ignore the fact that we're all looking at this, and this hygienist thing pops up. Are you offering hygiene?
Right now, it's a free. I've tested things, where people have tested things in their office. Currently, a hygienist, if they happen upon the site, can make a profile. There's no charge to the hygienist or the seeker. So anyone can go and do this. It's a little bit just if they happen to see it. I've tested it. It's not saying I'm never going to bring hygiene back, but it's so hard to get the hygienist to really see any site, but it is just a little value add. I mean, you could go there. Hygienists basically have the ability to make a free profile and get listed underneath there. So we're not turning that off, but there's no charge for it.
Oh my, look at this. I think
Yeah,
this
yeah,
person,
see?
no, this person I think works for me, to be
Yeah, yeah.
honest with you, as a
So,
temp.
yeah,
Okay,
so you can connect with them there too. So
right,
it's
right.
friendly,
So
it's functional.
tell me what else do you want me to show? Are we done here?
Yeah, you showed the employer product, showed how to use it. I want to encourage people to be more proactive than reactive. I mean, I'm here in Philadelphia with my two children. You remember these ages? If Mary and I have to go to a wedding, Bob, on March 15th, we don't start searching for a babysitter on March 14th. I think as I continue to deepen this story, I'll get people on Dentist Job Connect before they truly need the opening, because I want them to start meeting people. I mean, you're going to find out. I mean, our good friend, Dr. Mitchell Rubenstein, he's in New York City. He's got multiple applicants already. You got to talk to them. You got to Zoom with them. You got to find out they have the license. You got to see when they're moving there. I mean, sometimes people say, oh, I want to work for you, and they're not going to finish their program for a year. For some people, Bob, that's perfect. For some, it's not. So my message is be proactive. Dentists do turn around and spend $2,500 by sneezing in their office, right?
Right.
So for $2,500 or even $997, invest in your future happiness. And I think, we'll be able to help a lot of people together, Bob.
Great. Thank you very much, Paul, for showing this to me, and then let's see how things go. Okay.
Awesome. I can't wait to help you.